Good. What today is Friday, March 7th, 2025. Jump day for Monday the 10th. All right, let's go. Well, we have an honorable mention in here. If the volume was a little heavier, I might consider it as an actual short. Not a huge fan of going after biotech. The HV is not crazy high, though, in this one. Again, though, the volume is kind of light for shorting. A little too light for my taste. Slight move in our favor in CCL off its worst levels, obviously, but go ahead and bump your stop on that one. There it is right there. You see nice tail lower. Unfortunately, obviously rallying a little bit off, or quite a bit, I should say, off of his lows. And here's the thing too is the it's not really close enough for to the IPT to make a discretionary call. However, when you get into a position, especially when the market's super oversold like this, and you get a fast move really quick, and that goes for upside too, obviously on the opposite side for the upside. But anyway, on the downside like this, it's okay to lock in a little early. And I realize we only got to, where's that, 1983. I think we're looking for what, 1925? Yeah, so really not close enough to make it official or make it official discretionary call is what I'm trying to say. However, it's when you do see a big slide like this, especially when the market overall is oversold and the stock is oversold too, it's worth a shot. Anyway, I've taken those profits a little early, but just an FYI on that. Let me know what you did, if you did anything at all on that one. TAR's nice little rally today, which makes the short look a little better. Obviously, again, the volume's a little light in here for shorting, right around 500,000. I like to see 1 million or so at least as a general statement on the short side. Google setting up as a short. I just want to show you. I wouldn't rush out and short it. It's got a lot of support below. Let's take a look at the overall market. The bounce, I guess the bottom line is the bounce is really not that impressive. The word dead cat kind of comes to mind on this, but at least we bounced a little bit. At least we got back above the 20. At least it's not a washout going into the weekend. But this is no reason to start kissing each other just yet. Bow ties, obviously, to the downside, sharply through the 50. I like to watch the angle of inflection on that, and that's a pretty sharp angle down through that 50. And again, it's good that we got above the 200, but I wouldn't hang my hat on that in and of itself. But let's just take things one day at a time. Stop me if you heard that before. NASDAQ opening, kind of an opening lap there, but did sell off fairly hard, but did recover to close off of its worst levels. It's still well below that 200-day moving average, but an okay day. Nonetheless, Rusty, not too impressive. Only up a third of a percent. Obviously, the slide remains in place there. As been saying quite a bit, a lot of areas that recently took off have come all the way back in. And in some cases, and then some. Let's see. Yeah, internet would be an example of that. You can see broke out past the prior highs. And as I've said quite a bit, sometimes you get these double tops where the right side is higher or lower than the left, and as opposed to a perfect textbook double top. But anyway, when you get a fake out like this above the prior high, it's kind of the all clear, and then this is a kind of a trap. I don't really use the word bull trap too much, but I guess I'd be what they call a bull trap or something. Anyway, it did take out the bottom of its range, like I've been saying quite a bit on these things. Gold, the commodity, down a little bit in here. Gold stocks up a little, but well off of their best levels. Take a look at broker dealers. Sold off fairly hard, but did become to close off its worst levels. Bow tie to the downside. Obviously, a lot of areas have bow tied to the downside. Software, a little bit of a bounce, just barely above the 200-day moving average. Some of these areas that had been doing really well in here, like medical devices, you can see have broken down in earnest and could bow tie to the downside too. So here we have 100% retracement of the breakout. So that's certainly not a good thing. Jets off the worst levels would still look like they could be in trouble. Banks pro below the 200 and recover to close above it. But again, that's nothing to get too excited about just yet. Mags kind of right at that 200-day moving average after probing back below it. Foods had a decent day, as I would say quite a bit. These defensive areas have been doing pretty good as of late, but that's not enough to get excited about. Retail selling off fairly hard off its worst levels, but you can see has imploded nonetheless. One thing that's kind of interesting is telecom, bases the EMG groups, actually broke out the brand new highs today. I actually have T, which is AT&T, in one of my momentum lists. It's lower in volatility, but it is some decent momentum nonetheless. But when we look at the ETFs for telecom, they don't look quite as good. IYZ, for instance, you can see sideways for quite some time. And here, let's take a look at some other areas real quick, and then we'll go ahead and wrap it. Semiconductors, a little bit of a bounce there. Again, nothing excited about it. If you could draw a straight line that goes pretty much straight down, or follow the moving averages that are pretty much going straight down, that's certainly not a good thing. And as I've been saying ad nauseum, lots and lots of overhead supply there. Some of the stronger areas recently, like utilities, or not that long ago, I should say, have rolled over and are down, hovering down around their 200-day moving average. And you can see they're getting ready to roll back over with the bow tie moving averages on the cusp of turning into downtrend proper water. So it's still pretty ugly out there for the most part. Let's just sit tight. Let's see if this bounce can take us somewhere. And if it goes straight back up, obviously, we'll get long. And if it rolls right back over after the bounce, or if it has an anemic bounce, I should say, we'll look to get short. Everybody have a fantastic weekend. I will be checking in throughout the weekend on Facebook, so feel free to hit me up there, he tried to say. Or just you can shoot me an email, obviously. Everybody have a great weekend again, and we'll talk again on Monday, if not sooner. Thank you so much.